So there is a gap between two thoughts. The I am shines and reveals. Is there always a gap that can be witnessed? This body and world always available even though thoughts are not available in between. Then how can this situation arise? See, the first question is there a gap between thoughts? Yes, there is a gap between thoughts. You know very well. For example, in morning itself, it's not that your mind is full of thoughts. There's always a gap between thoughts. And actually thoughts appear and disappear. It's a fraction of a second. In fact, if you collapse all the thoughts, the amount of time thoughts are there in your mind is very less. So you have a thought that I have thoughts all the day is one thought, that's all. So really the time during which thoughts are there is very, very less. There's a gap between thoughts, there's an enormous gap between the thoughts.
Then why don't we feel the enormous gap?
Right. Okay. So there is a gap between the thoughts. Okay. This body and world is always available even if thoughts are not available in between. And then how can this situation happen? So you say the body and world is available always. It is not true. Body is available to you when your attention is there. When your attention is not there, how do you say that body is available? There's only inference. Okay? Right? Your direct experience is when body is available, your attention is there, body is available. And in between there is no thoughts, there is no body, because ultimately your direct experience, you have to rely on your direct experience, not the inference. World is always there, is also your inference. Right? So when you go to deep sleep, there is no body, there is no world. Okay? Now when you wake up in the morning, you say, come back and say the body is there and world is there. That's an inference done after you wake up. And there's a wake up state inference, not the deep sleep state. Deep sleep state, there's no body, there's no world. Your direct experience you have to rely on compared to inference. So, in between thoughts, there are many times, there are no thoughts, there are gaps. In the gaps, we assume that the world exists. Okay? In that gap, there is turiya or pure awareness alone is there. The world is nothing but a perception, a thought or feeling or a sensation. When this thought or feeling or sensation is not there, the world is not there. For your experience, I am not speaking about for other people's experience. For your experience, the world is not there.
And the thought is not there, why am I not able to recognize it?
No. When you are able to, okay, next question I'll answer. Okay, first thing is, understanding that there is a direct experience and there is an inference. So you go to deep sleep, there is no body, there is no mind, there is no world. And you wake up, the world is there. Then you assume that in deep sleep, the world was there. But that's not your experience of deep sleep. Your direct experience of deep sleep is there is no world. Right? So which is true? You are contradicting your direct experience with the inference. And inference is done in a waking state where their thoughts have appeared, which is Maya. Okay? So always we have to discuss based on the direct experience. Inference is useful. I am not saying no. It will give a continuity to our life. But understanding of life has to happen based on the direct experience. So there are, in the 24 hours a day, there are many times we don't have thoughts. A gap is there. In that gap, pure awareness is there. The pure or unconditioned consciousness is there. That's called Brahman. That's why waking state is called Jagrata Sthiti. Jagrata Sthiti is not Jagrata Sthiti where thoughts are there. In fact, Jagrata Sthiti is called Jagrata Turiya. Means background Turiya is always there. It appears and disappears. Our thoughts appear and disappear on the background screen. So we don't notice Turiya because our intellect is focused on the object.
That means thought is there.
Thought is there.
No,
Right?
but you are saying thoughts collapse to 2 minutes. What about the remaining this thing?
What is that? No. Next question.
No, that entire gap means intellect is not doing any object. It's
Correct.
not focusing on object. There is a gap now. Intellect is not focusing on the object. No thoughts.
No.
Then
See,
what's
I'm
happening?
saying,
Why am I not able to recognize?
see, here. The Jiva, Chidabhasa and intellect is one combination.
Yeah.
Jiva. Okay, Jiva is very focused on observing the world. It's not interested in observing the subject.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is aware of the object. It's not aware of the subject.
Right.
It's aware of the subject in the form of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Again, it's thought only, mind only.
Yeah.
So as you become more and more witness, you start becoming the aware of the observer in between the thoughts. The attention goes back to the observer. So that means you understand in between thoughts there is an observer. You become aware of the observer. It's not as an object. The attention goes back to the self. or the Chidabhasa. Okay, then what happens? Then you become more and more aware of the witness who is present or during the background. So right now your attention is never going back to the self.
So my attention is always going to the external
Object.
That means continuously thoughts are there.
Thoughts are not continuously there. When thoughts are not there, you think nothing is there. There's nothing. It's not nothing.
I don't feel that. You said there is an enormous gap. That means that nothingness should
No,
be there
yeah,
for a
you are
longer
not
time.
trained yourself for that. What I'm saying is, if you ask for a waking person, what is there in deep sleep? He says nothing is there. It's not correct. What is there in deep sleep is pure consciousness, pure awareness is there. The pure awareness you are calling nothing.
Yeah, deep sleep
So,
is clear.
In waking state also, between your thoughts, the pure awareness is there. That you call as nothing. And you give attention only to the picture, on the thoughts. So when you are become aware that in between thoughts there is a awareness which is not nothing but it's myself. So then the witness consciousness develops.
So you said rishis have said that a human being will have 60,000 thoughts on an average. So that all can be collapsed to 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
So all the remaining time there is a nothing which I am not aware of.
You are aware of as nothingness. You are saying nothing is there.
I don't feel
But
like
I-
Sir, can I say that?
Wait. Say, there are Rishis say that there are 60,000 thoughts. You collapse these 60,000 thoughts. In fact, thoughts will occupy a very fraction of a second. Really, the time thought takes in our day is hardly few minutes. Rest of time there's no thoughts. But we don't notice no thoughts. Okay? Thoughts give us a picture of a moving image. It's like a movie, still movie.
so what's happening to me when there is no thought? I anyways can't observe.
You're just
Then
there.
what am I doing at that moment?
You're just thinking that there is thought that there is nothing. There is a thought. See, first of all, when you are observing, the attention always comes from the mind,
Yes.
right? So now the mind is busy in looking at the picture. So the picture is nothing but thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, it's like a still image. It's like a movie. Each frame has a still thoughts. When the movie runs fast, it appears as the movie is going on. So the world appears to be continuous. But if you stop it, there's no movie. The still images are there. So similarly, when you slow your mind in meditation, okay, mind becomes silent. Then thoughts appear occasionally. Then you know that there's a gap between the thoughts. Then in that gap, there's awareness. You become aware. That's why meditation is called Jagrata Sushupti, or becoming aware of. It's like a deep sleep state in the waking state. Deep sleep state, no thoughts. So now your attention goes to gap between the thoughts.
That's my conscious effort.
That's your effort. Otherwise, you are unconsciously, you are always in the thoughts.
Can we call this process Nididhyasana?
It is Nididhyasa. It's called Nididhyasa. Right?
You mean to say then I'll be able to see the
You will not be able to see. You will become aware of the
aware
gap.
of the gap, right? It means that I am Sakshi at that time.
Yes.
And
Can you say that gap as a Turiya state of mind?
Gap is Turiya. Gap, not Turiya state of mind. It's a gap is Sakshi, consciousness. So,
it's only that I am seeing my thoughts in that. It's only that it's only my thoughts here. This thoughts, the rest of the things are still there. For
see,
example,
they're still there.
If I am watching this mobile phone, okay, I watched it, and now there were, for a still of seconds, there were nothing. I don't know. There were no thoughts at all after that.
Correct.
That thought I am aware of that. That there is no thoughts.
Yes.
One thought came into picture that there was no thoughts means just prayer.
Right.
But still, I'm still watching this thing or that
No.
thing.
See, the
Like
gap-
the objects are still there.
No. See, the objects are still there. See, the objects are still there because of persistence of memory. Memory is another thought which we'll discuss separately. Memory is another thought.
So you mean to say that snapshot before what I took, I still it's
See,
persisting.
ultimately, wait a minute. Ultimately, what is the thought? Thought is nothing but consciousness taking the form of an object. Okay? When consciousness is not taking the form of the object, is there object? In the gap?
It should not be there.
It is not there. It's only subject is there.
It is there.
It is only subject is there.
Oh,
Right?
after then.
Okay, after that, the object is also perceived to be there because memory or impression is there. Again, impression arises that there is an object. It will continue. It's like a movie.
Okay.
And memory is another thought.
Guruji,
After
Sir, can I ask
finish
one more?
this and post the video.
Yeah.
No, you finish this. We'll post this video to Suresh.
Okay, done. Then what? Next.
Over.
Without thoughts, body and world enter into deep sleep or samadhi, and I am is not available, then witness. Is there a way to create such a situation? Without thoughts, body and world, we enter into deep sleep or samadhi, and I am is not available to witness. What is the meaning of is there a way to create such a situation? Without thoughts means there is no I am, there is no body and the world. We enter into deep sleep. Deep sleep is awareness. So there is nothing else. Okay. I am is not available to witness. There is no I am will not be there. I am is also appearance. No, I am has merged. The I am or Chidavasa has merged with the pure awareness. It's called
Saying
prajna.
in the deep sleep, even I am is also not available to witness as a.
No. I am is a Chidabhasa which appeared in the mind. The Chidabhasa has merged back into self. So there is the witness is there.
In deep sleep.
In deep sleep, the witness is there. But nothing to witness is there. The mind is not there to witness. That's why there's deep sleep, there's nothing, because nothing to witness. So it's like a person lifts 500 kgs weight. He is called a weightlifter. So if the lifting is not there, the weight is not there, is a weightlifter or not? The Sakshi has nothing to witness. It's called Sakshi or Brahman at this stage. That's all. So the mind is not there to witness.